hands are hanging heavy by the sides, and let's bring the hands over the heart and over the lips, embracing the truth and speaking only the truth. And let's inhale the hands all the way over the head. Lifting, reaching all the way up towards the sky. And open the arms out and back over the heart and over the lips. Inhale, big breath in, lift, arch, back extension. Exhale, folding, forward bend, either holding your legs, or if you can reach the floor, you can place your hands down on the floor. Breathe into your hamstrings, lower back. You can keep a slight bend in your knees here in the beginning of the class or even throughout the entire practice. Let's shake the head yes and no, making sure there is no tension in the neck. Inhale, halfway up, looking forward, and all the way up to standing, arching back, hands over the third eye and over the heart, coming back to your center. Big breath in, lift, over the head, exhale, folding, forward bend. Inhale, look ahead of you. Let's bring the hands on the floor and step back into place. Feet together, belly in, looking ahead of you. Inner thighs squeezing towards the midline. Heels pressing away from you. The chest is open and the back is wide. You can step your feet hip width apart, and let's take the left hand forward and right hand forward. And again, left, right, left, right, reaching in front of you. And now let's take opposite hand to foot, left hand to right foot, left foot, right hand, lifting and maintaining the balance here. Sometimes it's a great way to start with a balancing pose, so it brings your attention right here and now. And let's bring the belly down on the floor. Coming into Cobra, I'm taking my hands off the floor to make sure I'm activating my lower back muscles. Extending the tailbone down, let's go one more time into Cobra. Press your toes down into your mat and lift here. You can again take your hands off the floor, using just your lower back to lift you into this pose. And let's bring the hands behind us, clasping. You can use a strap to hold behind you if you cannot clasp, and lift, looking ahead of you. Exhale, lower down. Let's tuck the toes under and press back into downward facing dog. Feet hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. Keep the shoulders back and down, away from your ears. Triceps are spinning towards your ears. Spread the fingers open. Pull the belly in. And you can walk in place, bicycle your legs. Bringing one heel down at a time and breathing into that hamstring. Really try to connect your breath here with warming up and opening places in the body where you hold tension. And you can swing your hips side to side here. Again, you're going to be activating certain parts of your hamstrings. And let's step the feet at the front of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look ahead of you and let's come all the way up to standing, arching the back, looking up, back to center, hands over the heart, standing, equal standing. Inhale, take a big breath in, reach over the head, exhale, folding forward. Inhale, look ahead of you. Let's bring the hands on the floor and step back plank. Nice beautiful plank, Chaturanga and Downward-Facing Dog. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tuck the tailbone under, lengthen the back of your neck, shoulders back and down, the knees and shin bones are off the floor. Make sure you know what I mean by a tucked under tailbone. You need to extend your tailbone towards your heels to protect the lower back in all the back bends we're going to be doing today. And let's continue with knee tucks. We're going to take the right leg up, rounding the back, still staying in downward facing dog, one-legged downward facing dog, and we're going to bring the right knee towards the nose with the back or the spine rounded and pulling the belly in. 1, extending the leg, 2, really round and really pull the belly in. 3, inhale, lengthen, exhale, 4, and bring it again, in and really pull and pause, and step it back down, 5. Over to the other side, left leg lifts, rounding the back, pulling the belly, in, 2, really drawing the navel in, holding the breath at the exhalation, pausing at the top of the exhalation as you pull the knee in. Really helpful, helps with your breathing, helps with your core strength. And 5. And let's bring the left foot down, back to downward facing dog. Shoulders away from the ears, and you can just swing your hips side to side, really finding fluidity in your poses. You don't have to hold a steady pose. You can find conscious ways of moving. Let's step the right foot between the hands. Come up. High lunge. The left heel is pointing straight up. Bring your hands behind you, clasping your hands. You're going to a mild back bend here, or whatever feels appropriate for you today. Just making sure there is a slight tuck in the tailbone and you're lifting through your sternum, vibrant heart. And let's move the hands over to one side and over to the right and left side, one to the other side. And then slowly begin to lower down into a bending forward lunge. And the hands are still behind you. Hands are reaching away from your back and back, either up or towards the front of the room, depending on your shoulder flexibility. Breathe into your shoulders. This is a great way to stretch the shoulders. Inhale, reaching all the way up over the head. And exhale, the hands on the floor, stepping back into one-legged plank, lifting the leg behind you. Now back bend again, and upward facing dog. Vibrant breath in, back to Chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take the left leg up, step your left foot between your hands. Back heel is pointing straight up towards the ceiling and away from you, extending the tailbone slightly down. Let's bring the hands behind, and I'm clasping the opposite way, the more uncomfortable way. And you have a preferred way of clasping your hands, so just go with the opposite index finger under, the opposite thumb under, and look up, walking the hands down the leg, just a couple of centimeters or a little more, whatever feels appropriate. And let's begin to fold forward, pressing the hands away from us and towards the ceiling or towards the front of the room. And slowly come back up, moving the hands over to the right and over to the left side. This is a minimal movement. You should just feel a slight stretch in your shoulders. And all the way up, reaching over the head. And exhale down into plank. Lifting the leg. And Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Moving through the Vinyasa, back to Chaturanga and back into downward facing dog. And if you're not warmed up, I'm practicing in 80-degree Fahrenheit weather, so I'm really warmed up here. But if you're not, please pause the video and do 3 to 5 sun salutations before continuing with the rest. We're going to be doing a lot of shoulder opening poses and a lot of back bends. So make sure you're already warmed up here, depending on the day you're having, the temperature of your room, how connected you're with your breath at the moment. Let's inhale and come up to warrior one on the right side. Hands behind us, clasping, lift, open the chest and lift to your heart. Exhale, folding forward, but this time we're in warrior one, pressing into the outer edge of our left foot. Hands are pressing away from us and the forehead is guided towards the ankle. Inhale, come back up into clasping warrior one, and let's step into warrior two, foot alignment. Hands are still behind us, or you can be holding the strap and come into a side angle, still holding your clasp. When you're ready, you can release one hand behind your knee on the floor and one over the head and towards the front of the room. And let's bring both hands on the floor. Step into plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Big breath in, holding the breath. Chaturanga, and now exhale, downward facing dog. Pull the belly in and up, and really lift your tailbone as high as you can, and at the same time relax the heels down. Let's take the left leg up, step your left foot between your hands, back heel on the floor, pressing into the outer edge of your right foot. Come up, warrior one, hands behind us, and again switching your clasp the hands and open your chest up. Lifting, make sure you can breathe here. And let's begin to fold forward. Exhale, guiding the forehead towards the ankle here and pressing the hands away from the back. Keep pressing into the outer edge of your back foot here. And come back up. Let's open the feet into warrior two and lower down into side angle with the clasp behind, really lengthening. When you're ready, you can release one hand on the floor, one up towards the ceiling and towards the front of the room. Great. Let's bring the hands on the floor and step back. Chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog. Back to Chaturanga and exhale, downward facing dog. Again, consciously moving in downward dog, finding places where you're stuck, where your breath feels stuck, where your energy feels stuck. Moving stagnation, using your breath and using your fluid moves. Inhale, right leg up, step your right foot between your hands, come up, warrior one. Let's bring the right hand forward and left hand on top of it, and then we're gonna interlace the forearms, wrapping them around each other and lifting up towards the ceiling. And now we're gonna do another shoulder stretch. Right hand up by the ear, left elbow by the rib cage, clasp, either stay there or bend forward. Again, pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. Coming back up, hands up towards the ceiling. This is a moderate flow vinyasa, so we're not holding things for very long. We're trying to move with the breath. And one-legged chaturanga, upward facing dog, back to chaturanga, and exhale to downward facing dog. And let's move over to the other side. Inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, foot between the hands. Bring the back heel on the floor. Come up, warrior one. And let's bring the left hand forward, right arm above it. Wrap your hands, wrap your arms, and lift up. Really breathe into the back of your shoulders here. Great way to stretch them. Lift as high as you can without getting to the place where there is pain. And let's unwrap, unclasp, and bring the left elbow by the ear, right elbow by the rib cage. If you can clasp, do so. Otherwise, you can be holding your t-shirt and bend forward. Optional. Still pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. Slowly coming back up. Inhale, lift your hands over your head. Warrior one. Exhale, all the way on the floor. One-legged chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And let's open the knees wide and sit back in child's pose. The palms of the hands are facing each other so that the shoulders are relaxed. Great. Before we get too lazy and too tired, let's come back up. Plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Shoulders back and down. Jaw relaxed, and let's take the right leg off the floor, lift it straight up, trying to keep the hips balanced here, so we're not swinging over to one side. We're opening one hip, but we're lifting one and then the other. Back to plank in chaturanga, downward facing dog. Consciously moving with the breath. Taking nice deep inhalations, finding where you hold stress, exhaling through there. Trying to observe your state of mind and your body. And let's come onto the tippy toes and jump into forward bend. Look ahead of you. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale halfway up and inhale all the way up. Back extension, look up or behind you. And come back up to standing. Let's step the feet hip width apart. Take the right hand down the right hamstring, down the right leg, back of your leg, and reach with your left hand up and back. Again, keeping the tailbone tucked under. Let's come out of this and bring the hand over the third eye. Hands together over to the other side. Gliding the left hand down the back of the left leg as far down as it's comfortable for you and you're still able to breathe. Reaching behind you. Slowly coming out of this, and let's bring the hand over the third eye. Light touch, awakening, inner seeing. Hands over the heart. hands, observing the central axis of your body here. Let's come into a chair pose, hands over the head, press your hips back, knees back, exhale, forward bend. Inhale. Look ahead of you and come back into your forward bend with even longer, more elongated spine. And let's bring the hands on the floor. Shaking the head again, yes and no. And jump back into Chaturanga or walk back into plank. Upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Back to Chaturanga, upward facing dog. One more time. Really open the chest here. Open the knees out to the sides and sit back. Child's pose. We're using it not so much for this resting pose, but to reset. To reset the spine, to reset the mind. So we're taking quick, brave moments for child's pose. And again, let's spread the fingers open and come out of this. Back to plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And let's lift one leg, right leg up, keeping the hips square, facing the floor. Back down and left foot comes up. This is actually more difficult than it looks. It's one of those poses that looks okay, but it's actually pretty difficult to do. So lift just slightly. And let's go to Chaturanga and downward facing dog. I'm working on my breath here, really nice and complete exhalations. Let's take the right leg up. Step your right foot between your hands. Inhale, come up. Warrior one. And let's bring the hands behind us, clasping the fingers. Walk your hands down the left leg. And slowly begin to fold forward. Halfway down, and we're just going to go into side angle with the hands behind us, clasping, shoulders opening, rib cage rotating open. Whenever you're ready, step your left foot in so that you can transition into a bound or clasping. Half moon pose. Standing half moon pose. And whenever you're ready, bring right hand on the floor, reach back with your left hand to grab your back foot behind you and breathe. Let's bring both hands on the floor. Square the hips, step your left foot back into low lunge. Walk your left knee away from the front of the mat. And just lower the knee down and breathe into your hip flexors. We're preparing the hip flexors for back bend. So just stay focused on relaxing the front of your legs and your hips. Let's come up and step back into plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Back to Chaturanga. Exhale. Downward-Facing Dog. Inhale, left leg comes up. Step your left foot between your hands. Right heel on the floor, come up. Warrior one, pressing into the outer edge of your right foot. Hips pressing forward. Right hip pressing forward. You can look up here, or you can just stay in warrior one and hold halfway down, bringing the chest over your left thigh, opening the right shoulder up towards the ceiling. Right ribcage rotates to open, pressing the hands away from us, and again breathe into the front of your shoulders. Really lengthen the spine here. Continue with your footwork. Whenever you're ready, step your right foot in, and let's begin to bring the right hip on top of the left. Be okay with it if you lose your balance. It's perfectly fine. We're trying to learn patience and balancing, not really perfection. Perfection is a limitation. And let's bring the right hand behind us. See if you can find your right foot. And just go into a modified or variation of a back bend here. Do what feels good. There is many ways to do this here. You can keep your right knee or right thigh parallel to the floor and lifting it high. There is no wrong way to do this. Just make sure to tuck the tailbone under and be conscious in your movement. And let's step the foot back into low lunge. Walk your right knee away from you. Lower the knee down. I'm moving to find where is my stagnation. Hiding. Trying to keep my breath and my movement fluid. Sometimes we tend to do a lot of square moves in yoga, so I do like to introduce certain fluid moves for a better rounded practice. And let's come out of this and step back in plank. You can rock your plank here. Hips are rocking side to side. Finding the weakness in your abs, you can pause there. Any place that you move through that feels weak, you can hover in that place and rocking back and forth. Great, let's open the knees wide, palms facing each other or hands by the heels, palms facing up. Drop the shoulders completely, not holding your shoulders, allowing them to just relax and drop. And from this extended child's pose, let's reach with the hands forward. And we're gonna plant the hands on the mat and begin to sit back, just halfway back, feeling the stretch a little more complete in your spine, along the spine. This is extended puppy pose, Uttana Shishasana. Great, from here let's spread the fingers open and come into plank, Chaturanga, upward facing dog, holding upward facing dog and breathing, and back to Chaturanga and exhaling downward facing dog. Moving in place here, side to side. Using circular motion, maybe in the hips or in the shoulders. And let's jump the feet on the outside of the mat. Exhale, bow down. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward bend. And let's inhale halfway up, point the toes out. Sit back again and reach way ahead of you. Pull the belly in, press your hips back and your knees out. And come up. Plie squat. Let's reach over to one side, touch the floor by the leg and over to the other, and one more time. Lift and bridge, and lower and bridge over to the other side. And let's bring the hands in front of us on the floor. Straighten your legs, toes pointing forward. Inhale, look up, exhale, folding. One more time. Wide-legged forward bend. The top of the head is pointed directly down towards the floor here, allowing for complete stretch in the spine. And let's bring the hands on the floor. Inhale, look ahead of you and jump your feet together. Exhale, bow down. Hug your legs and hold. Hold this forward bend. Inhale, come up into chair pose. And let's straighten the legs, reach the hands over the head. Extend, hands over the third eye. And over the heart, coming back to your center. Drawing a mental line along the central axis of your body. Here we're going to do a twist with the right hand gliding down the left leg and reaching over with the left hand. And over to the other side. Tuck your tailbone under and just really project through your fingertips. And come back up. And let's bring the right hand on the outside of the right leg. Reach over. Back up and over to the other side. Pull your belly in and open the rib cage up. And back to center. Hands over the lips. And over the heart. Chair pose. Uttanasana. Hands on the floor. Grab your legs forward bent. Inhale. Look ahead of you and let's jump into Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Back to Chaturanga, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. Let's bring the right foot between the hands. Lower the left heel down on the floor and come up, warrior one. Hands behind you one more time, clasping. And begin to fold forward, lower down, and again the hands are reaching away from you, away from your back, away from the shoulders. So there is a multiple action here going on. Let's release the hands on the floor. Bring your right shoulder underneath the right knee. If you can work your head underneath your knee or just keep the shoulder there. And now let's lower the left knee on the floor and just hold here a little deeper. Hip flexor stretch. Tuck your tailbone under and breathe. Let's bring the hands on the floor and step back into one-legged downward facing dog. Lower down one-legged chaturanga, lift and lower down, upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga and exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg, inhale. Left foot between the hands, drop the back heel down on the floor. Come up. Warrior one. Let's clasp the hands behind, reversing again the grip. Using the awkward clasp. And let's lower the head down towards the ankle. ankle. The hands are pressing away from you again. Soften the shoulders, breathe into your shoulders. This is a great shoulder opening sequence. And let's unclasp, bring the hands down on the floor, take as wide stance as you can, and bring your shoulder underneath your knee, and maybe your head underneath your knee, depending on how open you feel today. Great, from here bring your forearms or your hands on the floor, and lower your knee down on the floor. We're progressively moving into hip flexor stretches, a little deeper and deeper as we go. And let's come out of this one-legged downward facing dog, one-legged chaturanga, lift and up and into upward facing dog, and back to chaturanga, and exhale downward facing dog. Pull the belly in and up, soften the rib cage. Come into side plank on the right side, right hand on the floor, stacking the hips, stacking the feet if you can. Either stay here or you can lift your left leg and bring it behind you, see if you can grab your ankle. Pressing the hips forward here, taking the tailbone under, and coming back out of this. One-legged downward facing dog, one-legged chaturanga, lift, upward facing dog, back to chaturanga, exhale, downward facing dog. Moving the right leg into side plank on the left side. Either hold side plank, or if you're ready for this, you can bring your right leg behind you and see if you can grab your ankle. Great. And back to one-legged downward dog, one-legged chaturanga, little lift off, and upward facing dog. And back to extended child's pose. You can bring your hands back by your heels, allowing the shoulders to completely drop, not holding any tension in your shoulders, not holding your shoulders, but letting them drop. And let's inhale the hands over the heads, bringing the hips exactly over the knees. And begin to walk your hands in front of you, keep your hips back, and begin to lower your chest down towards the floor for another variation of a back bend. Continue breathing. Slowly coming back out of this, tuck your toes under, straighten the legs, and step into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up, open the right hip on top of the left hip, lift your knee as high as you can. And you can step your right foot behind you. From here we're going to lift the hips as high as we can in wild thing. And either stay in wild thing, or you can bring both feet down on the floor and both hands down on the floor for Chakrasana. Wheel pose. I'm going to rock back and forth in my Chakrasana, but feel free to stay steady in your pose. Reversing the movement, coming all the way back to one-legged downward facing dog. And let's lower the right shin bone on the floor, aligning the hips, square them, level them with the floor, walk your back foot away from you so that you can adjust how far you want your right heel to be from you. It really depends on your flexibility level. Just only bring your right heel away from you if you're really opening your hips. Otherwise, keep your heel really close to your left hip flexor. And begin to breathe, making sure your hips are level here, you're not leaning over to one side. I'm consciously guiding my breath into my hip area, not allowing any form of stress to form there. Rather, I'm inhaling softly and exhaling through the hip, allowing the muscles to relax. You can stay on your forearms, or you can lower your forehead down on the floor, still maintaining the alignment. Usually I like to stay in pigeon pose for 4 to 5 minutes on each side if I have time. This day, for the purposes of the classes, usually we'll keep it a little shorter, but if you have time, please stay for as long as it feels good. After a certain amount of time in pigeon, you will feel your muscles release the habitual tension that we hold there. So continue with your conscious breath and just allow yourself to be guided by your breath, consciously following each inhalation and exhalation and allowing everything else to be less important for the next few moments. Allowing only the present moment to be of value. Let's begin to walk the hands back in towards the hips. You can walk in your right heel closer in. And from here, you can even roll on top of your shin bone. And from here, reach back with your right hand to grab your left foot. If your foot does not come as close as mine does, don't worry about it. Just stretch your quadriceps, and you may even use a strap to grab your foot if you can't reach your foot. And I'm switching hands, grabbing my left foot with my left hand here. If you want to continue with the next level, just bring your foot into your inner elbow, reach over with the other hand, and see if you can clasp the hands above your head. For the next level, again optional, I'm going to reach back with my left hand, grabbing the front of the foot here with my left hand and bringing the foot towards the head or the head towards the foot. To come out of this, go back into one-legged downward-facing dog and draw circles with your right knee. The circles should be really big and should be guided by your breath. If there is one thing that is the most important part of your practice, that would be your breath, guiding your thoughts, guiding your state of mind today, guiding your body, guiding your 4. And let's take the left leg up. Open the left hip on top of the right. Lift the left knee as high as you can. Either stay here or you can step back into wild thing, bringing both feet on the floor and flipping your hips as high as you can. Here we're taking the tailbone under. Either stay in wild thing or you can bring both hands on the floor and you can stay steady or rock your wheel pose. Slowly come out of this to one-legged downward facing dog, and let's bring the left shin bone on the floor. Walk the right foot back away from you to open the left heel further away from you, depending on the openness of your hips here. Of course, you're gonna keep your heel as close to you as possible if your hips are not open, and just slowly progress. You're gonna see a big progress with your stretching if you just follow steady, patience, practice rather than being eager and going too far too quick. You can either stay on your forearms here or bring your forehead on the floor. Consciously guiding the breath into the areas of your body that are stiff, tight. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling still from the nose, through the nose, but through the hips or hip flexors or inner thighs. Observing the present moment and just counting our blessings today, that we're so blessed today to just be able to wake up in the morning, do our routine, roll out our mats, and be blessed with the opportunity to do yoga, to dedicate time to be quiet, conscious, aware, and present. back in towards the hips, bending the right knee, reaching back with the left hand to grab the ankle and stretching the front of the leg here. Really tucking the tailbone. This is really important. Here, making sure your hips are still level. Taking the tailbone under and pressing this right hip forward. Next level is to bring the foot into the inner elbow, clasping the hands over the head, looking up, opening the chest. And here, for the next one, you're going to bring your hands so that the hand is holding the top of the foot, and bringing the head down towards the foot. Come out of it. Walk back into downward facing dog and begin to draw circles with your knee. You're going to notice improvements from circular motions after hip openers. Really try to be fluid here, to feel your body and to move into the areas of your body that need this fluid movement. Let's step the feet back down. Downward facing dog. Open the knees wide, down on the floor, extended child's pose. You can bring your hands back by your heels, palms facing up, and allow everything to come back to the center. Inhale, reaching over the head. Tuck your toes under. Coming to plank and side plank. Right hand on the floor. Left hand reaches up. Let's bring the the right foot into the left inner thigh, tree pose. Next level optional is to grab your big toe and lift your leg into start plank. Next level, again optional, is to guide your foot in front of you into splits. And step back into downward facing dog. Back into plank, side plank. Left hand on the floor. You can bring your right foot into your left inner thigh. Either stay here or grab your big toe and extend your leg. Stay here or you can guide your foot in front of you into splits. Lift up, step back. Downward facing dog. Rocking the hips side to side. And breathe. Let your breath be your guide. Let's come into plank. Right knee tucks in. Grab your right foot with your left hand. Extend it across from your body and switch over to the other side. And switch. Let's do this a few times. Right foot, left hand. Left foot, right hand. Keep your belly tight. Right foot, left hand. like movements from down dog. You're gonna round your back and come all the way forward, right? And into King's Cobra. And slowly reversing the movement as if your spine is a wave. And again, round your back and come all the way forward. And again, rounding the back and moving back. One more time. Rounding, big breath in, look up, and exhale. Going back, pulling the belly in. Downward facing dog. Inner thighs rotating backwards. And let's walk the hands back to the feet, grabbing the calves, grabbing the legs. Inhale, halfway up, looking ahead of you. And on the next inhalation, come all the way up to standing, reaching with the hands over the head, hands over the third eye, our inner seeing. Over the lips, we're always speaking the truth. And let's bring the hands a couple of inches over the heart, breathing in and out through the heart center, allowing the heart to blossom. And give gratitude to your heart for its compassion, kindness, forgiveness, and love. Let's inhale the hands all the way over the head. Exhale, diving down, forward bend. And let's walk the hands towards the front of the mat, coming to downward facing dog. Dropping the knees on the floor. Let's bring the feet in front of us. Roll the shoulders back and down, Dantasana. And now we're gonna bring the hands behind us, just a few inches behind us, with the fingers pointing towards us. Point your toes and lift your hips as high as you can. Keeping the inner thighs active. The entire back of the body is working here. And slowly lower yourself down, back to seated. Inhale, reaching over the head, and exhale, forward bend. Inhale, come back up. Spread your feet about hip width apart or just a little wider than hip width apart, and exhale, forward bend. That we're getting a little bit of a different stretch here. And the next thing is we're gonna round the back and lower all the way down into our backs. Walk your feet in, step your feet parallel to each other, about hip width apart, or exactly hip width apart. Let's bring the hands by the ears, preparing for wheel. If you're not familiar with wheel, you can always do bridge here. Or if you don't want to do back bends, you can go ahead and finish the practice with plow pose. slowly lower down, bringing the knees into each other. Just a brief break. And in this particular moment, there was a hawk. What a blessing, flying right over me. A beautiful big hawk that we were able to catch on film. Gorgeous. Alright, and let's do one more wheel pose. Hip parallel to each other. You can walk your hands in, you can come onto your tippy toes. You can reach and grab one